Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll see what are the activities that are available for Action Center, where or how they are used. Action Center is mainly used to design long-running workflows. Now, what are long-running workflows? As name suggests, these are UiPath workflows which runs for very long period of time. And even if there is an exception in between, instead of directly making the process faulted, it will send that exception to user and then continue with the rest of the items. For example, if you have a process called PDF extraction, which has to extract the information from thousands of PDFs, where the robot has to extract information from the thousands of PDFs, and if there is an issue in extraction, instead of stopping the workflow, it will raise an action item to the user, and then it will continue with the next PDF. And for those PDFs which are failed, it will continue once user given the required input for the robot. We have activities from two packages. First one is persistent activities, and second one is from intelligent.ocr package. So intelligent.ocr will be mainly containing the document understanding activities. For example, our document understanding process extracts some information from the PDF, and if it required the human approval or something, then those kind of activities will be under intelligent.ocr. So firstly, persistent activities. To check the available activities, you can navigate to documents.uipath.com. Under that, you can find Action Center. And here you will see all the persistent activities available. So, for example, start job and get reference. This will invoke a job in orchestrator, and then it'll give the reference. We'll see the demo for those. And similarly, wait for job, add queue item, wait for queue item. And these are the action items related tasks. For example, this will create you if you use create from task, it will create a task for the user. And then if you want the process to wait for that task to complete, you can use wait for task and then resume. And then if you want a delay in between, the process has to continue after certain delay, then you can use resume after delay and assign tasks and etc. And we will see a demo for each of these activities. Firstly, start job and get reference, and then wait for job and resume. Let's see the demo for these two activities. Let's go to UiPath Studio. First thing we have to do is to install the packages. So we are checking out the persistent activities. So I've installed this package. And which version do you have to install? I've already made a video how to choose the version based on the UiPath Studio version. You can check that in my channel. So I've installed persistent activities, and one more important step is to enable the persistence. For that, go to project settings. You will see support persistence. Toggle this to yes. And it will be no by default. You can toggle that to yes and click on OK. Now this will support persistence. So let's take a new flowchart. Job. That's for start job. And you will see start job and get reference. Drag and drop. Quickly see the parameters, input parameters. Firstly, process name. This will be the process name which you want to start, the process which you want to start. For example, if I go to orchestrator, so I have a process called sample process. So I have to start this process from the robot. Copy the name, go to process name, and then add it. And then if you have any input arguments for that process, for example, I've already opened the sample process. So this is my sample process. Contains a log message which will print this is a sample process. And then it has an argument called in test argument. And then if you want to pass this from the activity, you can use the collection job arguments. Just click on these three dots, and name of the argument should exactly match. So this is the argument for the process. Copying it, pasting it here, and whatever you want to pass, just directly give it here. This is from playground process. So I've passed that. And then if you want to know the you can get the reference of that job, and within that reference you'll have other options called state. What is the current state of the job? Is it pending or is it suspended? Is it successful? And many other things. So I'm just creating a job object variable. Just click on Control J, Control K, and then create a variable. So that's it. Let's print the status of the job. Job object dot state. You can also have start time and source. There are many options. You can just scroll down and then you can see. You can get the package ID and then package name, process name. For now, I'm just printing state. So this will give me the run state. Is it running or pending or suspended, whatever it is. So let's start the process. Firstly, I'll show what sample process will print. So by default, inside the sample process, we'll have this is a sample process and then the test argument. So the default value for that is this is a test argument. So now we'll just quickly run the sample process. I'm going to start job. Arguments these are inherited from the package. Click on start. And let's see what it prints. It said this is a sample process and this is a test argument, which is like the default value for that argument within the process. Now this is my another process which we just now created. It's called playground, and then I've used start job and get reference, and this is my process name, and then I'm passing the argument, and the argument value will be this is from playground process, and then it will give the job object variable. Quickly run the process. Logs, and then you can see it started. It triggered the job, whatever the process name I gave. It triggered that process, and then it will be in pending state, right? So that's why it printed the state as pending. Now let's go to 16 seconds ago. Can just quickly open that, and then if you see here, this is a sample process, and then we passed the argument value as playground process, right? So that's why it printed this is from playground process. So our playground job triggered the sample process. So that's the use of start job and get reference. Now, second activity is wait for job. Wait for job on resume. Let's drag and drop this. So now we wait for job on resume expects the job object, which will be the output of start job and get references. So you can use that object, and then again you can get that. I mean, what is the current for getting the current status? You can use the same job object here, and then you can see the status. So let's see how do we do that. So firstly, I'm passing the job object. So this will contain the information of the started job. So initially it was pending, right? Now let's see what happens after wait for job. So I'm just keeping the state. So what wait for job and resume does is the started job. For example, here you started, right? So it will be pending. It will wait for this job until it completed. For example, it will be in pending state until it's successful. The current robot will go to resume state. Let's see it. So initially it was pending. So this log message. So after this activity got started, the robot went to resume state. So since I'm running in attended mode, it is asking me to click on resume. If you publish this process and if it is running from orchestrator, it will go to suspended state, and then the robot which is used for this process will be freed, and it can be used by other process. So until that job, the triggered job is completed, this job will wait. So if I click on resume now, so you can see that it is still pending because I haven't got the reply from job wait for job activity. So I've gave the job object. So I'm using the same variable. So this instance again will be stored in job object variable. Now you will see the changed status. So initially it was pending. Now I'm clicking on resume. Wait for resume will wait until the job completes successfully, and then it completed. So now you can see successfully. So if I open the orchestrator, you'll see many other jobs now. You see, this was triggered by the playground process, and then until it was successfully completed, the robot waited. It waits. So that's how you use these two activities. That's all for today. If you have any feedbacks, ping in the comment section, and then see you in next video. Thank you and happy automation.